I'm going to share screen with you guys. All right, so this first section, I'm going to show you guys on your calendar real quick. So go to your calendar, and this is what we have for today. So sandwiches and pizza, week 19, day 2. Click on it, and then, like I said, we're going to continue on with our sandwiches and pizzas module. Sorry, more people keep popping in. Sandwiches and pizza module. We'll cover the Chicago, New York style, and then which is basic thin crust and deep dish. There's 4 questions on the link afterwards, and then we're going to go over like how to make your own dough, like what proofing is and how the yeast works. Okay, so those will be there for you. If you want to go and open them now, you can just answer them as we go through this. So I'm going to go back up here. This video is pretty cool. The reason I chose this is because the final place they go to is called Spago, which is owned by Wolfgang Puck. Wolfgang Puck is one of the first television show chefs that was out like years ago. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him. He's got a whole line of kitchen equipment now. But he started out in Indianapolis when he came from Austria, worked at a place downtown. Then he moved to LA because he realized there's a lot more money there, and opened up Spago. And the way he got people in the door of his fine dining restaurant was he would make these pizzas and literally just stand on the sidewalk and pass out pizza so people could try it. And then he just blew up. Like, he's worth millions of dollars. And he actually came back here in 2006 or 7 and opened a restaurant in the Art Museum downtown around 38th and Martin Luther King. And I actually worked for him there for 2 years. But it was an amazing restaurant. We would cater for, on a Friday night, we'd have 1,000 or 2,000 people for a catering event. So it was a good learning experience. So I want you to watch this first. This is a really good, short, quick video.
Hey Andrew, how's it going?
What's up, man?
My bestie Keith actually is not available right now, but I was wondering if you would be at all willing to come with me on a food adventure.
So I'm just like your backup?
We're doing pizza.
Okay.
Sweet, let's go.
So where are we going?
We're on our way right now to eat 3 different pizzas at 3 drastically different price points. And we're gonna find out which one is the most worth it at its price.
What does the expensive one cost?
$135.
$135? Is it made of gold? Why do you need me to come with you?
Because I need a partner in crime, and you are the best friend today.
Let me look up some dynamic duos and then we can decide which one we are. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse. Who's who?
Why can't we just be Steven and Andrew?
Spaghetti and meatballs. Milk and cookies.
I'll meet you inside.
Beavis and Butthead. Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. I think it's pretty obvious.
What about the 3 Musketeers? We're gonna serve for you today our basic pizza. It's our simple pie. Our simple pie is just tomato sauce, Parmesan, and whole milk mozzarella, as well as our green stripe. It's got basil pesto, mozzarella, all natural chicken, wild baby arugula, and roasted red bell peppers.
How much is the simple pie?
At this location is $5.25.
That's value right there.
Or for $7.95, you can get as many toppings as you like, as much of them as you like.
It's pretty great.
And here's the cool thing about it. Just like any fine dining restaurant, all of our stuff's all natural.
So like how many pies does this location make in a day?
We've done over 1,200.
That's a lot of pizza.
We're here, the first pizza restaurant.
Not how I thought my day would go, but all right.
This pizza's the size of your head, and it's $5. Can we cheers? It's really thin.
With the pizza?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a great pizza.
This pizza's called the Simple Pie. It's very simple, and I think that's how you should do things in life.
$5, you're getting the 3 things that make pizza pizza.
You have good dough, you have good sauce, you have good cheese.
This sauce is delicious. Have you had this sauce yet?
I've been eating the pizza. Let's try the other pizza though. So we got the most expensive pizza here, and it's $7.95. Hey, oh, cheers. This one is very good. You demolished pizza.
I know. This is something that you're gonna have to get used to. I have no self-control.
You were a pizza monster.
And you are a pizza plebeian.
It's pretty good.
Next place.
That Simple Pie was great, but I would spend the extra $3 to get that pesto pizza.
I think I would just get 2 simple pies instead.
We're gonna skip. Next one.
So we're gonna make a burrata pizza for you today. Burrata cheese is basically fresh mozzarella preparation. Very soft, rich, luxurious mozzarella cheese. First, we'll stretch the dough, and then we'll put a little bit of olive oil on the crust. We'll top it with our passato, which is our tomato sauce, and then layer the squash blossoms over the top. Spread it over the pizza, it goes in the oven.
And how do you know when it's finished?
One of the true tells is you turn it up on one end, and it'll stay like a board. And then it gets topped with the burrata cheese, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, sea salt, and black pepper.
It sounds delicious. What makes your pizza different from other pizzas?
We focus a lot on the crust. The toppings are important. We put a lot of attention to that, but people don't know that that's what makes the pizza so good. They just think it's the toppings, but it's actually the crust.
Oh wow, that is so good. This pizza comes in quarters. I think that is awesome.
These are all good slices. Cheers. Cheers. That's a perfect pizza.
I'm calling it right now. We're not gonna get a better pizza than this. I just got into the crust. The way that really fresh popcorn tastes, you got like flavored air coming out of the crust. How are you not excited about this?
Okay, so the thing they put on there, as you can see, as they progress with their pizzas, like you had the basic pizza, then you had the one that was a fancy pizza, which just had like arugula on there, which isn't that expensive. Then they get to this place. So squash blossoms, to give you guys an idea of why vegetables start costing more money. If you go to a pumpkin patch and you see the giant vines growing on the ground for the pumpkins, you'll see squash blossoms growing out of these. So typically it only happens, you know, a couple times a year up here because you can't grow pumpkins all year long. Southern California, they probably grow squash a lot. So like zucchini, yellow squash, that kind of thing, where these blossoms just grow off the vines. You know, you'll see these flowers periodically. So there's not a ton of them and you can't mass produce them. So that's why they're a little more expensive. And that's why that second pizza was probably like 35 bucks.
Do you get what I'm talking about?
You know what's also interesting? The pepper.
Yes. I love putting black pepper on stuff. I put
Yeah.
a disgusting amount on it. My
This is a lot.
girlfriend yells at me all the time.
You have a girlfriend? Feels like I'm eating something.
All right, we're gonna go to the next one, which is Spago.
I don't know.
I'm the chef de cuisine of Spago Beverly Hills. I will be making Italian white truffle pizza that's in season right now. What's so special is the truffles. Truffles are fungus and they grow under the ground. A pound of white truffle would go as high as $3,000. So a little piece like this, about $100. We will be stretching this dough to about 9-inch diameter. We'll put mozzarella on top of the dough. The dough will go in the pizza oven for about 5 minutes. We use real wood-fired oven. This will get somewhat smoky aroma. Once it comes out, we're going to shave a lot of white truffle.
That's it.
That's it. 3 ingredients. As soon as you shave the white truffle on it, the aroma will just explode. It has its own distinct aroma. You can't find in anything else. This is $135 on the menu. Actually, a bargain. When we have special ingredients like this, for us, it's not about making money. It's more of us showcasing the seasonality and sharing the beautiful ingredients with the guests.
So we got some white wine as suggested by the chef. Wow, I already learned today that wine goes delightfully with pizza. Are you ready for this? I don't know if I'm ready.
I'm a little apprehensive about eating a pizza that might never be surpassed again in my life. The most expensive pizza tip touch that's ever occurred.
Here we go.
As you can see, they like it. So if you guys remember back to the vegetables lecture that we had, we went over what truffles are. So if you guys remember, we talked about different types of mushrooms, and then truffles are those mushrooms that look like you saw in there, they're like a black or a white, almost like a ball, and they grow underground, and the only way to find them is using a pig or a trained dog to smell them in the woods. And then they're usually around a specific type of tree too, like on the underground on the roots. So they have to dig down to find these things. All right. That's why they're so expensive. So that's why that pizza costs so much money. So
Hey Andrew, how's it?
to the next one. All right. So this section goes over New York style or Chicago style pizza, which is this right here. So it's like a deep dish dough, inch or more toppings and sauce, and typically a layer of sauce on top. So this one, I'm going to kind of fast forward so you can see there's 4 places in Chicago these ladies are going to test out, and you can see the way they make these 2 different types of pizza. Let's skip to the first one.
Illuminati's deep dish pizza, I feel like I can really taste the difference in the cheese to other places that have deep dish. I highly recommend it.
So Lou Malnati worked at Chicago's first deep dish pizzeria, Pizzeria Uno, and eventually Lou decided to venture off on his own and start his own pizzeria, which is Lou Malnati's Pizzeria today. It starts with our dough being patted out in a nice deep pan. That's where the deep dish comes from. And it's brought up around the sides to create a nice solid base for all the ingredients you're gonna put in. Next, you layer down the cheese. If you're first coming to Chicago and you wanna try deep dish, I definitely recommend starting with our classic if you don't know where to start. Our classic has extra cheese and our exclusive sausage blend and our signature famous butter crust.
Oh my God. Never gets old. Cheers. I don't see how we're gonna get better from here. This is our first stop. Just freaking slice it. The crust, to me, it just adds that perfect crunch, but I feel like it's not, overdone. I think it cooked perfectly and it tastes buttery.
The crust here is called butter crust. It's actually like trademarked.
It's one of the things we're famous for. It's actually a trademark term.
It's trademarked.
I would too. I don't want anybody taking my coins. And
All right, so that's the first place. Then we're gonna let's go ahead and skip to the second one.
now,
Our second stop is Giordano's. It's famous for its thick deep dish stuffed with cheese.
For deep dish, it's either Giordano's or Illuminati's. And Giordano's just has a lot more sauce. It's very cheesy and the crust is absolutely delicious.
The most popular deep dish is always going to be cheese. But we do have other specialties, such as the Chicago Classic. Chicago Classic will have pepperoni, fresh onion, bell peppers, and mushrooms. We put a layer of dough on the bottom of the pan. A large pizza has approximately 2 pounds of fresh grated mozzarella in a bias. The customer's reaction is generally amazement, usually awe, lots of pictures being taken.
still going.
Oh,
Still freaking
my
going.
God.
It's not a deep dish without a good amount of cheese.
It's deep with cheese. The cheese is the absolute superstar of this dish. The cheese is so fresh and flavorful.
Yeah.
And so like
Is it like a salt?
like plush that
Yeah.
it almost kind of tastes like ricotta. You know what I mean?
I still taste other parts of the pizza where I don't think it's just too much. I personally don't think it's too much.
The sauce is really good. It's not too tangy. It has
All right, so that's second place. I know you guys will love it.
To blow every other pizza out of the water.
Our next stop is Gino's East. The restaurant chain opened in 1966 and solidified its title as one of the most iconic deep dish spots after they hired a cook from Uno's.
Since I've been here 26 years and I've eaten it as a kid, I'm going to tell you we have the best pie in Chicago.
This is my favorite place to get deep dish pizza. I think it's just the layers. The crust is the last thing you kind of taste, but you get the richness of the sauce, you get the meatiness of that full sausage that's in there, and then you get that crumbly cornmeal kind of thick crust. It's almost like eating a sandwich in every bite.
For a deep dish pizza, our
you guys
pizza is a
see that?
secret.
I want to show you. Move this.
That full sausage that's in there,
Okay.
and then you
So that is raw sausage, okay? The pizzas you guys get around here, say if you get Domino's, Little Caesars, whatever, their sausage is always pre-cooked because they only bake those pizzas for 15 to 20 minutes at the most. These pizzas take up to an hour to cook all the way through. So they put raw sausage on there, so you get that big puddle of raw grease inside the pizza.
that crumbly cornmeal kind of thick crust. It's almost like eating a sandwich in every bite.
For a deep dish pizza, our pizza is a secret. The dough recipe was created by the cook that we brought over to create the pie. The sausage patty supreme kind of brings you back to the Midwest. It's a Chicago original. That is the most popular pie.
Welcome to Gino's East Restaurant.
What is it home to?
The best pizzeria in Chicago. The supreme pizza is going to be with mushrooms, green peppers, and onions.
I would just like to point out that this was not intentional.
Not planned at all. It's like mostly cheese. Let's go. All right. One thing I really am feeling about the sauce is that although this is like a meat lover's pizza, they put veggies in it, which I think breaks up the fattiness of the meat.
I like how the sausage is evenly distributed throughout. I just wish that it was thicker. Oh, I love bread.
Wait. It's giving me cornbread vibes, but not like overly sweet.
Not cornbread, like cornmeal.
Yeah. So what, if anything, is your favorite part about pizza?
Well, considering I just ate a layer of the crust by itself, I would say the crust.
Really? For me, it's all about the sausage.
And the sauce. Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, I actually, compared to other places, I like that it's coated throughout, so every single bite I'm getting is a consistent bite of sausage.
Our final stop is Pequod's. It's a local favorite and famous for its unique spin on the deep dish crust.
Typical wait times on a Friday and Saturday night are between an hour and a half and 2 hours. As far as like Pequod's being recognized as a best deep dish or locals favorite, people, don't associate us with a big chain, which is great.
We do a Chicago pizza tour, and we come here on every one of our tours due to the fact that, in my opinion, this is the best pan pizza in the city of Chicago. The sauce is sweet. If you notice a pan pizza, on the bottom, it's crunchy. The crust is phenomenal. So if you ever hadn't been here, come here.
So the key characteristics that make our deep dish a little bit different than anybody else is obviously the crust.
This is the reason why Pequod's has been nominated time and time again the best deep dish in Chicago.
Our caramelized crust is achieved by taking the cheese and laying it up against the side of a specialty pan that we use, and the heat literally rises over the top, burns the sugar in the mozzarella, and then caramelizes that cheese. For a first timer that's coming into Pequod's that wants to try the product, we always recommend a pepperoni and a sausage pizza. A pepperoni sausage combination, those work the best for us. So for us, we go a little heavy on most all of the ingredients. We want it to be somewhere between overwhelming and enough thickness to cook properly. I can eat this pizza every day of my life, and I don't know why, I don't get.
Look at the amount of grease on it. That's what.
These are some hefty chunks of meat. Wait, we gotta do it together.
Gotta keep up, girl.
I don't think I've ever seen Alana this impatient before. It's so bad. All
right. So those are the 4 different places in Chicago. We have a Giordano's down here, and I think there's still a Pizzeria Uno, and there's the deep dish places you can go to that have those. Oh, you're fine. So we're gonna go to the next. Hold on. We're gonna go to the next section that talks about New York style pizza. So New York style is kind of like if you've ever had the Pizza di Roma in the mall, where it's got the large, like floppy style pizzas, minimal sauce, thin crust, and light cheese. Not very many toppings on it. This place is called Lucali's. It's in Brooklyn, New York. I love the way he does the pizza, and the history of it is this guy's parents own this building that he's in that used to be a candy store. So I think they made candy there, but then they passed, so he took it over and opened up a pizza place. So let's go ahead and watch this. This is pretty amazing. I'm going to show you this first part because I want you to hear this.
That out.
Why do you think that your pizzeria?
I guess I make a good pizza.
This is Mark Iacono. He opened Lucali in 2006. Since then, pizza fans from all over the world have been flocking to his restaurant, even some celebrities.
What do you think is the best pizza in Brooklyn? This is something people talk about a lot.
Lucali's by far.
Lucali's, okay.
Every afternoon at 5 p.m., hopeful diners wait in line anywhere from 2 to 4 hours to put their names down on the list for the night.
They start taking names at 5, they finish around 5:45, and that's it, we're booked.
It's definitely worth the wait. It's definitely.
You know, joking around.
So I wanted you to see that part. So he's only open 4 hours a night, and that's how long people wait to get this pizza. Even Jay-Z likes this pizza.
You know, we're always, you know, goofing with the customers. Pizza and calzone, leave him alone. That's all he makes.
To get a better idea of what makes Lucali pizza so great, I had to step into the kitchen and learn how Mark makes his pizza.
Jesus, my pizza making skills are so subpar.
You gonna roll dough?
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
You want a lot of flour, and you want to kind of start almost from the center and roll out.
Is there a reason why you use a wine bottle instead of a rolling pin?
Yes, because I don't know how to make pizza. As I mentioned earlier, I never made pizza before, and it was the very beginning. I was probably open a week, and I screwed the dough up. People were screaming at me. They wanted their pizza. I was really slow at the time. I didn't understand. I was like, why won't it stretch? So I called my brother, I was like, who lives right around the block, and I was like, bring me grandma's rolling pin, hurry up. And he just took forever, so I just grabbed a wine bottle and just started rolling it out with a wine bottle. And it just stuck.
Does it do anything for the taste?
Yeah, the pies do come out a lot crispier.
Sorry, I have the upper arm strength
Put
of
some
a
muscle
child.
into it. Don't put too much thought into it.
I think that
See,
is
it's
my
coming perfect.
Okay.
You're doing a great job.
And then
like spread your hands, hold it up, see what you got. Perfect, you're done. Look, you stretched the perfect dough.
You make it look so easy.
I've made thousands of these things. We'll drop it right in the center. The whole thing. Okay, now with the bottom, you want to just make, go ahead, grab it. You're gonna do a little circle and just let the, like, you know, like you're making a spiral. Push it out.
Yeah?
After working here a month, your forearms will be like Popeye.
Yeah, I can't relate. The only working out I do is
Eating.
Yes. And we just dollop it everywhere?
Well, yeah, you're not slam dunking basketball.
It's a gingerly place
Yeah,
it down.
just throw it on. That's it, you're done. You did an amazing job.
You're so kind.
No, you really did. You know you did.
Yeah, I think it's an even distribution.
After that, the pizza goes into the oven and is topped with Parmigiano Reggiano and fresh basil.
People have been coming here, and I think because it's so hard to get in here, they have the pizza, and they don't want to waste the experience on a calzone, and like, I'll send the calzone over. They don't order the pizza anymore. Now they just order the calzone. So we're gonna do a calzone?
What's the best way to order the calzone?
Calzone, a little garlic, and we make a hot pepper sauce that you can put on top.
You guys should recognize that. Made them.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the eating portion of this video.
All right, so that's the New York style. Minimal sauce, and then it's just the toppings you put on there. I've heard one chef in New York said that the reason their pizza tastes completely different, even if you use all the same ingredients, is the water, which makes sense. You know, if you have, you know, different types of water, make the pizza taste different. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you guys is this basic dough. The reason for this, next week, we're still virtual, but I'm going to be here. I'm going to distribute stuff to make sandwiches. So we'll probably do some sort of grinder. I just got to see what they have available. And then I'll send a list out this week or an email to see who's going to actually come pick it up. For all the new people, the way this works, these 2 weeks are a little different because we're not doing hybrid. But typically we'll do 3 days of Canvas and 2 days of lab. So next week, you will have the opportunity to come in here on Wednesday or Thursday. I got to see when the product will get here. Pick up your toolkit. which has all your pots and pans and stuff in it, and all the ingredients to make said grinder, which will be the sandwich stuff. You'll take that home, and then I make 2 videos. Day 1 of lab is prep or mise en place. So you'll prep everything that day. Like you'll cut up your vegetables, get your sauce ready, whatever. Day 2, we'll have a second video on there where I do a demonstration, and it'll show you how to actually make the product. And you'll use that class time to go make your product. The reason we're watching this pizza is because the first week we come back hybrid, we're gonna do this pizza dough and then bake it the next day, okay? I'm gonna mute this so I can walk you through it. It's real quick. Basically, you need warm water, not hot water, not cold water, not ice cold water, warm. So like 105-ish degrees. Put that in the bowl. This recipe, you add sugar. You could do honey. This one, you put sugar in there and you dissolve it. The purpose for this is to sweeten the dough, and then also it provides food for the yeast, because the yeast you put in here is a natural fungus. All right. Hold on, let me move this ad out of the way. Then you add the yeast. Once you put this in there, what the yeast does is it hits the warm water and it's going to activate it, because this is dry instant yeast. So this is a living organism. It's a basic fungus. It's going to start eating the sugar. Okay, and you'll see this in a second. Okay, there's the fermented yeast sugar water. All right. Once you add the flour to this, what happens is this yeast is going to start eating the sugar water and the flour mixed together, and it's going to give off gas. The gas is what proofs your bread. So it's going to make it rise and form all those little air pockets in it. And since it's so thick around there, it can't escape. All right. So if they made, it's the same way they make fermented beer and stuff like that, but those gases can get out. This gas, well, I think they can get out. I've never made beer. This gas is trapped inside that bread. So what's going to happen is it's going to take this small dough ball and it's going to make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. This happens naturally as well, because there's natural fungus in the air. So if you were to just take sugar water and flour and let it sit in a room at room temperature, in a few days, this will start to proof and ferment. That's called fermentation. So what they do is we're going to put we're going to do this here. You guys will put yours into a deli cup. We'll let them sit out for about an hour. And then I'll put them in the fridge after you leave. But this is what's going to happen. You let this sit in there. The yeast is going to start eating all the sugars, and it's going to rise. All right. So you'll see this doubles in size. Boom. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like. So that'll be our first project when you guys come back. And then we're going to transition into intro to baking and pastries. So you guys will get more breads under your belt. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and escape. I want to show you guys real quick. Let's go back in here for a second. That's the video, or that's the lecture part. I recorded this one. I'll have it in here too, so you guys can watch it if you need to. Your homework for today is sandwiches and pizza, week 19, day 2. The link is right here. Also, it's in your module at the very bottom. So sandwiches and pizza, week 19, homework number 2. Okay. Does anybody have questions at all?
Mr. Anthony?
Yeah.